hello. Welcome. Um, this is an experiment more than it is a stream, I suppose. So when I was playing Clover Pits, it would have been Tuesday. I pointed out several times that I'm notoriously unlucky. And I was not the only one saying this. After watching my slot machine luck, several people were in agreement, and other people have seen my other luck with things like Baldur's Gate 3 dice rolls and stuff. So this is an observable effect that's been going on for a long time now. I'm going to distill it down to its purest form and calculate how... I'm going to calculate the average, or try and find out what the average is, because I'm sure there is one already existing, that it would take to flip 10 heads in a row, which is unfair flips. And I'm going to compare whether I do it quicker or slower. And that's it. There's really nothing else to add. Now obviously the average would be an amount of flips, because someone might be really, really quick or really, really slow at flipping a coin. But regardless, we're not here to argue about the probabilities, because the probabilities are, well, kind of fixed. Now that is one thing that I'm not sure about. Do I start the timer? Well, no, because it's not a timer, it's an amount of flips. Do I start counting the amount of flips after I reach 50%? I don't think so, no, because I can just... It's interesting. I encounter a bit of a dilemma here. I also can't find the game in my Steam library. Yes, I could just search for it, but where's the fun in that? I'm sure I added it to a library. Did I? I did, I'm just blind, I guess. Alright, send it. How is that compared to me speaking? That should be... Yeah, it's about the same, if not slightly less. Probably quite a bit less, actually. I don't know. I don't even know if Unfair Flips has music. If it does, we can switch. You know what? I didn't prep that, but I can. Ooh, that's not what you'd like to see. Let's just get the very basics set up right now. Ooh, does Unfair Flips not show up as a game? Oh, no it does. It's just taking a while to update. And does it not show up unless I'm tabbed in? I have to wait until I see the background change on my end. Okay. It works. That's a good start. There is one more thing I wanted to add. Whether I can or not's a different matter. Because I don't know what I did with it. Did I uninstall? No, there it is. I almost thought I uninstalled LiveSplit. That would have been deathly stupid. Which means it's probable, but no, I did not. It has an update. How do I've forgotten how to use it, anyway. What's my keybind to start it? Settings. Page up, and then undo to end. You mean undo? Oh no, undo split is end. Okay. So don't press numpad. Well, numpad 3 doesn't exist. That's my reset button. If I... Bear with me here. I know this is taking longer than it should. Oh, wonderful. That's exactly what we like to see. And then we start flipping. Shit. It didn't work. Is my... It might be broken. No, there you go. And now it's just a matter of timing. Now, my limit here is 50%. I don't go above 50. We definitely take it to 25 though. Now, here is what was curious to me, is if I'm comparing myself against the average, it would have to be the average how long to beat time of this game. Because I'm starting with a below average chance to hit heads. If you see what I mean. Why am I not just buying these? So, having a below average flip rate for it means that it would theoretically take slightly longer. Basically, however long it takes to get to 50%, you take that away, and that would be your regular chance. So I guess I could split. I haven't set up splits though. I don't think it's gonna take... Well, actually, I don't know. I say I don't think it's gonna take too long to get to 50%. I don't know. I don't know what the average is. So I just realized that on my end I'm covering the... Oops. Just froze the coin in the air. But yeah. This is the entire game. I know. This is literally just to prove a point. I have no other reason for doing this. Could I have just booted up Google and flipped a coin a million times? Theoretically, yeah. But that's way less fun. Plus, all of my luck comes from RNG manipulation. None of it's genuine homegrown luck. That said, I did get quite lucky at the start. I flipped a few heads early. It doesn't really matter though, if I then proceed to flip only tails. But I'm really not expecting to get anywhere until like 35%. That seems like it's gonna be the point of at least making a tiny bit. Maybe that's what's gonna take the longest. Is actually getting to that point. So if this is the point I'm proving today, or trying to at least, because I could just prove myself wrong, is that I have worse than average luck. So technically it's better for me if this takes longer. Making suboptimal plays in terms of upgrade choice, or just not upgrading, would be better for me. But then it's a flawed experiment. I'm interfering with the data. I do just need to send it down mid. And then if we want the only 50% average, I will just take away... It's my 100th flip. Honestly, getting a 3x streak on 100 flips is not bad. That feels like... I probably should have gone for the combo there, huh? Yeah, 100 flips and getting 3x feels... maybe lucky? I'm not actually sure. Huge in-air snipe. Oh, okay, I just realized what was happening with the multiplier. As it was 1.5 before, it wasn't actually Like, the first flip was not doing anything, but the second one was. Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else to add. That's the general premise, is just... I click this button... I didn't do the math, I suppose. But if I now start doing it... it's gonna add time. How good am I at multitasking? Not good enough, I think. I suppose I can just wait for after, when I don't know the time to beat. It is maybe a lot more interesting, at least for me. There are multiple endings to this game. When you reach 9 heads in a row, presuming you don't hit a tails on your 10th flip, the game will randomly select an ending. Of those endings, you'll have a 10% chance of the coin actually landing heads. Does that mean there are 10 endings? Because if there are... I mean, this is a 10% chance for the thing to land heads. Is it just like a reduced chance for it to land heads? I suppose I could probably just look at the achievement list and figure it out. But hey, again, where's the fun in that? It's a journey of discovery. Now, what I'm more afraid to have happen is to get to 50-50 and then flip 10 tails in a row. Because it's happened a few times, but that's completely irrelevant because we're at 30%. The fuck is this? This was like video game themes to gamble to. Or like to lose all your money to. Yo? Oh. I do think... is it? I don't know. $35%'s a decent amount. Okay. We just win the game right here? Oh. I mean, that could have been great. That would have been amazing luck. See, that's... I guess there's no losing, huh? Now that I think about it, it's like... I'm either proving my point, or I get a speedrun.com time. The worst outcome is if... well, it's gonna be close to the average, I think. There'll be outliers, sure. And they'll be the ones that end up on speedrun.com. So my goal is to either to be an outlier on either side. I don't wanna hit average. But then again, the only semblance of control I have is... well, I don't have any. The only thing I can do is keep flipping the coin. Choosing an upgrade, maybe. But when I run out of upgrades, which I'm sure will happen, that's when you begin to question what you do. Could put on an audiobook in the background as well. But I'm gonna be honest, this song is way too intense for what's going on, but that's part of why I like it. I'm honestly foaming at the mouth to get to 50%. Which is just a regular coin flip. So it's honestly stupid on my part. But my brain is just... It desires to see a number go up, even if that number is one that is ultimately irrelevant. Because then from there... we don't go higher. Now, I do have... That's the worst part. This could go infinitely. Because it's actually not that likely to flip head 10 times in a row. It's not that likely to flip heads 5 times in a row. Though, you know, technically, it's a 50-50. That's one thing that, like, variable change is weird, man. To flip 10 heads in a row from 0 heads is astronomically unlikely. To flip 10 heads in a row from 9 heads is a 50-50. So, like, the higher up you get, the more likely it becomes, technically. Because the previous outcomes don't affect the future ones. I don't know, statistics is weird, man. I love it. It's such an interesting field, concept. Just it's always nice to look at stats. It's probably why I like games like Balatro so much. It's because it's essentially just a big stats sheet. That's like when X, Y. It's also kind of programming in terms of that. You look at a bunch of things that cause outcomes and the outcomes they cause, and then you make it so that all of the outcomes happening are your preferred outcome. It's pretty sick. I do especially like, with the success of Balatro, that more games like that have been popping up. You know, not that RNG manipulation and effect-like games are a new thing. Isaac's been around for a good long while now. It's not gone anywhere. I'm trying to think, because, like, it feels like there was 2 branches, at least from the ones that I have played the most of. Can I hit... Oh, I can hit spacebar, it's so much more comfortable. I can now sit back. That's sick. Yeah, it feels like there's 2 main branches of ones that are in my, like... I was gonna say domain, but that feels a bit... It feels a bit grandiose for no reason. This is gaming. Hey Joe, how you doing? This is an exercise in statistics and probability. To prove that I have worse than average luck. That's all this is. It's literally the only reason I'm doing this. But yeah, it feels like there's been a lot of Survivors-like games, like Vampire Survivors clones. Give them the benefit of the doubt and not call them clones, call them inspired. But when Vampire Survivors continues to be as good as it is, why would I play any of the other ones? Especially when it has that much content. I mean, I've played quite a bit of Vampire Survivors, and I'm almost done with it in terms of unlocks and completion. I don't know. It's not like you have to stop playing the game once you beat it. It's one of those. It's like Isaac, you know. You just go in for a run every now and then. You dip your toes in the water. That said, man, it's fucked up that I have MMO brain, but that I was primarily a console player for like the majority of my childhood, and that has caused me to stick to the first MMO that I played, which was Destiny 2. And now that I have the capability of playing more, I just don't have as much time. I was robbed of RuneScape. By myself, admittedly. It's my 500th flip, fun fact. I was robbed of RuneScape by myself, because I probably pretty easily could have played it. But, at the same time, I grew up with Wii Sports Resort. And that's pretty sick. I feel like people talk about the Wii very favorably, as like a console. It didn't have... Humans have a strange relationship to probability, and when presented with completely truthful odds, as you can see in the top left, people still want to believe in some trick, some way of cheating the odds, flat as they are. There's no way to beat these odds, there is only time. You are wrong, sir. I don't want to beat the odds. I want to prove that I am worse than the odds. I want to take your system and flip it on its head. I was about to say, or maybe I just hit the motherlode. Give me a coin worth. Man, I've completely derailed my conversation. I have no idea what I was talking about now. Oh well, couldn't have been that important then. But yeah. I was talking about, like, memos and latching onto Destiny 2. I think as a whole, people just don't travel outside of their preferred genre enough. I think the world would be a way better place if people that interact with any form of media, you know, movies, TV, books, video games, whatever it is, if once, say 3 times a year, you were forced to interact with one that was outside of your general preference. Say you don't like... Say you like just read romance books, and that's like what you read. If once a year you had to read, like, I don't know, an autobiography, I think that would really improve people's perspective. It just gives you... It gives you insight into what other people like, and that's just, you know, you don't have to like it. It's not to try and convert you. It's to give insight. And I feel like that's what's lacking. Peak, hey Dream, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast. I have exactly, like, the track that I'm listening to in the background is 1 hour long, and I started the speedrun timer a bit after. So I have about 30 minutes left of music. Maybe slightly more, maybe 40. At which point, I will be accepting copyright-free suggestions. Working and my cat's taking over my chair. You should put on that playlist I made. Unfortunately, literally every song on that is... Yeah, it's... I would get killed, I think. I think Taylor Swift would show up at my house with a gun if I put that on. Just stream while I work from bed. Dude, work from bed is such a sick concept. She wouldn't, she has a team for that. That's true. I would not be getting the Taylor Swift visit. I'd be getting, like, guy in suit hits me with a true combo that I can't even tech out of. Just like when I'm going down the elevator. Probably just cut the cables, actually. Be way quicker. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is one of the things that I've been interested in for a while. We're almost at the breaking point, by the way. We're nearly there. This is a great exercise in muscle memory for me to time 1 second with my finger as well. Because if I can get the timing down perfect, it will be optimal flipping. And I'll come to learn exactly how much 1 second is. Though it feels like the timing is somehow slightly off. Because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. No, it's just when I'm talking, my rhythm goes out the window. It's fair enough. I feel like I have a pretty good internal metronome. It's not 100% working, but when I'm trying to focus on something, I can actually count in time. Which is honestly, I know a lot of people that can't, and you just feel so sad for them, man. It's such a seemingly simple thing to do, but their brains just don't work the same. I do too. Didn't realize how varied people's sense of rhythm was until we were doing. Oh, Iatros. Sorry, that word just stun-locked me because I've never read it before. In Desert Perpetual, and someone on my team had 0 rhythm. Yeah, no, it's one of those things where you just think, because you can do it, everyone can do it. It's the same thing that I've mentioned it before, I think. I can't visualize things, like, in my head. And it's something that, because people can do it, usually, they don't understand that I can't. But I literally just can't. It's just not a possibility. And rhythm's the same. I imagine, like, being in keys as well, though. It's like how some people have perfect pitch, other people just... the less fortunate just can't hit a note for the life of them. Because they just can't recognize... Like, they can't make... Well, that's more of a physical thing, though. You just can't make your voice do what you want it to in your head. Which is understandable. I sound a lot better singing in my head than when I actually do it out loud. I know some people who can't, like, match notes when singing, which is also weird, but I get that as opposed to rhythm, which seems like a biological thing we'd need somehow. I don't know about needing it biologically. I think it's just something that with the creation of music is kind of like probably just taken over the brain. It's like people that can do it are the ones that were making music. I don't know, maybe is there like a genetic trait that's tied to we're at 50%. We go no higher than this. This is where the true challenge begins. I was kind of hoping it would end right there. What with heart rate? I mean, heart rate is like pretty consistent. But oh man, that was ooh. Get a little rush of dopamine from hitting 7 times. Get my achievement pop and then back to the grind. Part of the reason I love Tay's new album is because it's so dancey, and dancing is so good for my brain. Good joke, I say here, reaching 130 beats per minute watching the stream. Yeah, I guess it is. Heart rate isn't a consistent thing until we measured it in beats per minute. I mean, a cardiac massage or, like, you know, doing CPR is a consistent rate that we've established for it. I don't know if there's a reason for that, actually. I don't know if it's like... I don't know if there's a reason why we stuck with that rhythm. Was it proven the most effective, or was it just the easiest for people to do? I think it would be pretty fucking difficult to do chest compressions at 130 beats a minute, though. You'd be doing like 2.05. Is that right? I don't know, somewhere around there. Like chest compressions per second. I mean, honestly, you'd be fucking shredded if you could do that. Would you be shredded or just have really good muscle control? I think they go hand in hand. Things don't get real until we hit 8 flips. When we hit 8 flips, that's when the game begins. Variable change, my beloved, carry me to victory. Ooh, I was hoping though. That's another thing, is like I'm halfway there. So the chance of me hitting it, I don't know what the odds are to hit 10 coin flips in a row. The odds are now half that, though. Or like twice as likely. Because the previous 5 flips have no bearing on the outcome of the next one. Like, this could be a tails. It's a heads. So I'm now... Well, if we get 7 or not, that's a 50-50. We don't get there. I love variable change. It's so confusing. This is your thousands flip. I don't even know if I'm using it correctly. But I'm fairly certain it is variable change, because there is... You know, why does the coin care that the previous one was tails? Did I just flip 10 in a row? Yeah, that's 10 in a row. Okay, I was 13 tails in a row on a 50-50. That's pretty impressive. It's possible, although unlikely, that the game will never end. This is an exercise in raw probability. I'm aware, brother. That's why I'm here. You can't reach 100%, that would defeat the purpose. I don't wanna. I'm sticking at 50. 50's my number. This is perfectly fair. You know, if I get it now, great. If I'm here until 12 o'clock tonight, that would be really inconvenient, because I have work tomorrow. But, like, the game could just not end. I could be trapped here forever. This could be my own personal form of purgatory. And honestly, considering my history with, luck, it's possible. It's... I mean, there is statistically a breaking point. I don't know, man. It's like... This is what I don't understand about statistics, and why it's all so confusing. When they say it's unlikely that you're stuck here forever, it's not like the amount of times that you flip makes it more likely to get 10 in a row. Obviously, over a large enough amount of flips, it's more likely to happen if you're looking at the sample as a whole. But until you've got the whole sample, you can't look at it. You have to retroactively see that you got it. You can't say, oh, but from here it's more likely. Technically it is, because before I had less than 50% chance. But from the point that I hit 50% to now, which is about 19 minutes, I think, if I'm not wrong. No, it must have been like, yeah, it might have been 19, actually, about 7 minutes. From there to now, you look at that in the sample and say, well, of course, he was going for 3 hours. He was going to hit it eventually. But I only hit it on the last try. So the rest of them didn't matter. It's confusing. That said, I mean, a speedrun of this game is maybe the most pure form of speedrun. There is no skill involved. You boot up a game, you click flip, and you hope to get it in like under 5 minutes probably. Flipping a coin heads 10 times in a row at a 20% chance. Which is very unlikely to just rip it. But I'm sure someone's done it. I was talking about it a bit before as well, with the copyright thing. I think the greatest point in media history, like movies and streams, is gonna be when public domain stuff starts getting good. Like when we get to modern day public domain music releases, that's gonna be sick. Like we're just hitting the 50s now, right? Because it's 75 years in the US for copyright. So like 2026 we'll be getting stuff from 1950, if I'm not wrong. Now the problem with that is copyright extensions and stuff, where the IP just doesn't go into the public domain. You know what, I actually haven't done I never did a public domain stream, maybe that'll be this year. It's like 6th of Jan, I think, public domain day. But yeah, I'm very interested in seeing like all the stuff that goes in. Because while I myself am not making money as a creative. Like, if I'm an animator and a super popular character goes into the public domain and I want to make, like... I don't fucking know. It's... Cough cough Disney. Yeah, it's primarily Disney, but it's not the only one. I'm sure some estates, like, try for copyright extensions on songs and stuff. But yeah, it's... If I were an animator and there was like a really... like an old animated character that I thought was cool, and I just wanted to make an animation with it, and post it on YouTube without getting it claimed to shit, I would have to wait 75 years from its release, which I still think is crazy. Why not 50? Like... Is 25 years really that big of a difference? I think isn't it also 75 years? Is it 75 years after the death of the artist? I was not even paying attention when we hit 8. Is it 75 years after the death of the artist, or is it just 75 years after release? I actually don't know that. We're definitely not making this slop movie to renew copyright for this IP. Yeah. I still think that, like... okay, this might be a hot take. I think with so much... First of all, I hate remasters. Are we keeping the chance at 50% to Aurafarm? We're keeping the chance at 50%. Sure. We can say it's Aurafarming. Primarily because I want to show that I'm unordinarily unlucky. If I push the chance to 75%, I'm still going to win eventually. It's just going to happen sooner. And it's not a fair assessment. Because if I Google how long does it take someone to hit 10 heads in a row, while it's like a weighted coin, 70%, 30%, there's not going to be coherent results, there's not going to be a big enough sample size. If I just say how many tries does it take on average to flip 10 coins and hit heads every time, there's actually going to be a sample size of people that have done this. And that is how I can get my comparison for how unlucky I am. Percentage based as well, which is important. Because I can look at the time and say, if I'm doubling that time, I am, on average, 100% more unlucky than your average person. Which is sick. To just have a statistic that you can pull out like that would be so sick. Now, you might be asking, why didn't you just do this on Google Coin Flip? It's a good point. Because this is more fun. And... I don't know. Apparently there's 10 endings, maybe I'll replay it, maybe I'll go for the world record in amount of money on unfair flips, make an auto-clicker, just set this shit up while I go to sleep. You never know. And also, just having Google open and clicking the coin just wouldn't be the same. Because then there's the temptation of, like, why don't I just open and flip it on, like, 8 tabs at once? This is pure. There's nothing that I can do to make it go faster. I mean, there is. I just click 5% heads, but that then... we're poisoning the waters here. The stats will be wrong. That's what I mean. The title is accurate. This is an exercise in probability. There is no entertainment to be provided here. This is me doing this for me. And also because it's funny. And the great thing about this is it's on PC. So I can add whatever the fuck I want to the screen as well. I could just cover the coin and put a big picture of, like, I don't know, a dog there. I can do whatever I want. The screen is my domain. What the fuck is this tune? What am I listening to? I was banging with it on the Donkey Kong Country one, but now we've hit some, like... Shit, I should have kept the rhythm going. Now we're hitting levels of, like... I mean, it was pretty funny before, though, when the music changed into, like... a hard rock casino theme, and I'm just sat here flipping a coin over and over again. But this is like Red Dead 2 at the bar playing poker if we were in like a silent movie. I don't know, it's like a Marx film. No, okay, now it's just Waluigi Pinball. You know what, now that I said that, I think Waluigi Pinball is on this playlist. Now, really, for the well, I guess I can pause. I was gonna say, for the integrity of it, I can't pause the timer. Or like, I can't stop flipping while leaving the timer running. Because then the stats are wrong. It's not how long it took me. That said, I am still going to pause when I get to like 8. Because I'm sure, on average, when someone flips a coin and they get to 9, they kind of freak out. Please listen to this. You know what? I am going to take you up on that, because this song is driving me crazy. We stopped the timer temporarily. LiveSplit is still trying to update itself. But it's open, so I think it's failing. How would I do this? This is from Kirby, apparently, and it's still got another 2 minutes in it, thank God. You know what, let me put it to there, and then open the link in a new tab. Oh, it is just Waluigi Pinball. Funk Big Band version. I don't think... I mean, it doesn't... I don't actually know how to check for copyright anymore. Usually it's in the description. Or it used to be, where it just said, like, features songs by... But it's Waluigi Pinball, so... Send it. It might be too quiet. Turn it up a little bit. I mean, look, I'm in it for the long run. I know I'm gonna be honest, I'm more worried about like how I'm gonna make dinner. Because that is something I'm gonna have to do at some point. And we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm good at... I mean... No, that's not right. I was gonna say I'm good at hitting the 5 in a row, but that's because it's 50%. Not how that works. It's not like I'm getting 50% of the luck of 10 flips. Just not. It's not true. I was gonna say, this could be a great vibe, because it was raining earlier. Listening to jazz Waluigi Pinball while flipping a coin, but it's not raining anymore, which is a shame. Would be great if it was. It's one of those things where, like, I'll send you a few more tracks from 8BBB. I have listened to them before, primarily because they show up quite a lot on Spotify when you're looking for video game tracks, which I had before for stream music, but then Spotify ads became so egregious that I couldn't use it anymore. And also, like, the band that I primarily listened to before, that's another 10... Oh, that's 9 Tails in a row. The band that I primarily listened to left Spotify because the CEO was, like, directly investing in drone manufacturer in Germany, so that's pretty sad for me. I don't mind it though. It's a conscious and moral decision. Plus, with AdBlock, YouTube is pretty consistent these days. That said, every 2 weeks or something like that, it's not actually happening anymore. But I used to get like essentially what felt like death threats from YouTube, where it's like experiencing slowdowns, find out why. And it's almost always like, yeah, it's because you're using an ad blocker. Or it would have a pop-up at the start of the screen saying, hey, we're going to stop playing videos if you don't take off your ad blocker. And then it never did. It didn't stop playing videos. It just kind of like... It's just, okay. We lose a lot more money if you stop watching, so you can keep watching. I'm still playing, in their minds at least, I'm still playing into the consumer algorithm. I, however, do not buy products, or goods or services, so... At least none of the ones that are advertising on YouTube. Yeah, they deliberately slowed down the site for people who use AdBlock. I've experienced only once... It's pretty funny, actually. I've only experienced once, like, tremendous slowdown to the point where it was unusable. And... it was a while ago now. Like, several months. But I was really drunk, and I wanted to listen to the the main theme from Max Payne 3. And the, YouTube just wasn't having it. It played it so poorly, like... I couldn't press play on the video because I have autoplay turned off, and it pauses them by default on Firefox. I don't know if that's a Chrome thing as well. So I just got like really pissed off and went to bed, and then woke up to like 4 tabs trying to play Max Payne 3's main theme. Yeah, needless to say, I probably didn't get to listen to it, considering the computer was still on and all the tabs were open. I'm getting excited about hitting 10 tails in a row as well. Which we already have done, by the way, 50%. Okay, the guy as Waluigi at the end is excessive. Damn, I have mind powers. I froze the coin in midair. You know what? Let me open a classic as well. I have some... Is this copyrighted? This might be. I have to check first. I mean, this one isn't. This one isn't. Fun fact, the full Banjo-Kazooie OST is 6 hours and 24 minutes, and I've played that multiple times, because it's a fucking banger. The only problem is, for some reason, and I could fix this super easily, like, the fix is insanely easy. Nah, this doesn't have the vibes. I saved all of the music onto my liked videos instead of a playlist, so now I have to scroll back through my liked videos and find like where I wanna go from. I could just, you know, add them to a playlist, but this is too easy, so I'm not gonna do this. We Shot Bossa Nova. That is exactly the video that I played, but I don't know. I don't think it fits the vibe. Maybe it does. Maybe it fits it better, actually. I don't like... How do I... Can I... There you go. I was like, can I get my cursor off the screen? I can. Spelunky theme has intrigue, you know? Will he get 10 hits in a row? Probably not. You know what? I'm gonna take this time on my phone to Google on average, how long it takes to hit 10 heads, if my fingerprint is recognized. No, actually, it turns out I'm an alien trying to access my phone. Are you open to high-quality video game rips? I mean, look, if you're talking about music, so long as it's not copyrighted, I do not mind. That's why video game soundtracks are so good, is because they play during the video game and are generally not copyrighted. Though a lot of the times, like, music that is not copyrighted still gets struck if the artist isn't generally making copyright-free stuff. Like, the Spelunky theme does not get the VOD muted, but if I play Polygon Don't Wanna Land by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, which is public domain, because they literally made the album for that. They were like, yo, here's one for the boys. But I've played it before, and the VOD gets muted. So it really begs the question of why is it even important that you don't play copyrighted stuff if they just mute the VOD and it doesn't matter. Also, opened my phone up and then completely forgot why I did that. How long, on average, to flip? I'm typing with one hand. How long does it take on average to flip a house? Probably a bit longer. How long does it take to learn how to flip? Average to flip a car? A dog? How are you flipping a dog? No, I don't want to ask. A coin. 10 heads. Hopefully that comes up with what I want. Surely someone's written an article about it. From r/learn math, so I'm probably just going to be reading misinformation. It's 50% or 1/2 to the power of 10. Well, yeah, that's easy. And then he goes into how variable change is confusing. Or conditional probabilities. Oh shit. Oh shit. I just wanted to know what the chances were, but you all started spouting nerdy ass shit. No offense. Brother, you're on the math subreddit. So if you just flip the coin 10 times, it's 1 in 1024, which sounds about right. But what about continuous flips? I guess my problem is I'm searching for a sort of ambiguous question. Because yeah, it's 1 in 1024. But that's like, if you did the simulation... Okay, so I guess it's actually pretty intuitive. If you want it to be 1 of 1, you just have to run the simulation 1024 times. Which means that the outcome is 10 times 1024, which is 10,024. So if I flip the coin more than 10,024 times, then I'm right. My math is probably wrong there, but that's how I've extrapolated it. And that's what we're going to go on for now, which is very eye-opening, considering we hit 1,000 flips at like the 30-minute mark, something like that. Now, admittedly, the coin did speed up, so the first 20 minutes were probably 30% of that, maybe? because it used to be double the time. And then the next... So the first 15 minutes was 30%, and then the second 15 minutes was 70% of 1,000. So 15 minutes for 500 flips, are we saying? I mean, really, no, it should be more than that, because I can flip the coin once a second. So in 1,024 seconds, I'm getting one full simulation out of the way. How long is 1,024 seconds? So 1,200 seconds is 2 minutes. 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, we're doing one simulation. Considering I need to do 10 of them, that's 200 minutes. So, if I don't beat the game in 3 hours 20 minutes, that's off, isn't it? Because it's 120, then 180. Well, it doesn't matter. Yes, it's 3 hours 20 minutes. No, I got confused and now I've mind wiped myself of every number that I had. It's 200 minutes, so it's 3 hours 20 minutes. Yeah, I had it right the first time. But it's 3 hours 20 minutes from when I got 50%. So if by the 3 hour 40 minute mark, more or less, I haven't beaten it, I have worse than average luck. We have goalposts. My math's probably very wrong. The stats I've pulled, probably also wrong. But we have goalposts, however hazy. Now, you could be arguing, why don't you just ask AI? First of all, AI is wrong. It's good at doing math, that's one thing, sure, fair. But I think my math's pretty solid, if the averages on the stats are right. Because it's really simple math. It's literally just doing simple multiplication. Let's see what you posted, Dream. Delfino Plaza. Is it Delfino Plaza, but it just loops constantly? This is literally the perfect type of stream where I should get media. Oh shit! Cheating. I should get media share working. Did I ever do that? I think I don't remember actually. How the fuck did you know? Intuition. Also because I know what I would do in this situation. Even though it just said Delfino Plaza, you know it's not just Delfino Plaza. Because Delfino Plaza would... I don't know, it was just like... it's quite popular now, the Dokes meme from Dexter. Except for in this case, it's kind of like if Dexter was looking at Dexter, because I would do the same thing. I only know because I would do the same thing. See, now I have the dilemma. Do I try and get media share working? It would just take a minute. It would just be like 1 minute of turning it on, and then another minute of troubleshooting, then another minute of it not working and me trying to fix it, and then maybe like 3 extra minutes where I desperately try and get it working, and then another 4 minutes of turning it off and on again, and then 2 minutes of realizing I have the source wrong, and that it was working the whole time, and then 2 more minutes of audio bugs. Yeah, so like 20 minutes overall, just to turn it on? That doesn't seem too bad. See, the thing you fail to realize, though, with Delfino Plaza, but it doesn't go anywhere, I've not been listening to the music the whole time. So this, to me, is nothing. You've empowered me to talk more, because when I'm talking, what I'm hearing is myself. Which I suppose is the case for you also, because I'm flooding the audio channels. There's so many on that channel, but I don't know about copyright. The thing with Nintendo is I think that they are generally okay with copyrights. It seems a tad unnecessary if you ask me. I think they're okay with copyright so long as it's not in a published video. If you put it in a YouTube video, I think they strike that shit down, especially if it has a lot of views. If it's on stream, I don't think they give a shit. I don't think the stream gets muted, basically. Which is my main worry. You know, if I get a copyright strike, then that would be bad. But if they say, like, we'll remove the strike if you remove the thing, like, sure, I don't care. I'll delete the VOD. I don't want to, but I'll just download it first, and then cut that part out. You know what? Hit the classic. One for the boys. The Donkey Kong Country soundtrack. Actually, this is a mix of all Donkey Kong soundtracks. It never goes wrong, though. They just straight up don't miss. How hard would it be, hypothetically, for me to turn on media share? I know, I do technically have it in my head how I have to do it. I think. Ah, shit, that's the wrong account. I forgot I have 2 accounts on this piece of shit website. Okay, slight detour. Log out. Why does it not save my login? I only log in from this computer. Okay, that's correct. Still have 60 notifications. Wonderful. I knew at one point how to do this. There it is! Okay. Oh fuck, no, this is the issue though. Yeah, okay. I think the issue was that it was I couldn't figure out how to do it with just channel points, which is what I would want. Oh, I never got around to that. Oops. All right, well. I mean, you can just post the link in chat. You're not gonna. I don't have links banned yet. Try your fucking luck too much. I might have to. That would have been so sick. Just tab back in, instantly win. Now the interesting thing is how the human brain works. Because I went through the napkin math. And in theory, I'm not going to get this done for another 3 hours. But in practice, every time I hit 3 heads in a row, my head is like, oh shit, we're doing this? And then inevitably it goes to tails. But that's also because I understand that even though on average it's going to take that long, the change in probabilities for every hit head means that it's all the more likely for everyone we get. So my brain gets that little sprinkle of dopamine in there every single time. You know, 1 head, nothing. See, now we're getting somewhere. Ooh. It's like a little jolt. someone's hooked a car battery up to your nipples, they've turned the voltage right down, and every time it gets to 5, they just give you a little juice. Just a little zap. But they don't want you getting too comfortable. They don't want you getting too comfortable, so they send you right back down to 0. But you still get that jolt, because your brain's like, oh shit, we're doing it. Now, it does make me wonder. Oh, they turned the voltage up on that one. It does make me wonder about... So, for the uninitiated, oh, it's 5 every time. They know how I like it. They know how to get me. Yeah, Northern Lion is playing this game, who is for the uninitiated, a popular and funny streamer and YouTuber. He is doing it, though, stuck at 25% probability, just so that he can measure the size of his balls. And also, I believe, because it's like a competition with a different streamer friend of like one-upping each other. How long would it take at 25%? I mean, it's actually a really easy question to answer. It's just, instead of half... Oh, sorry, 1 over 2 to the power of 10, it would be 1 over 4 to the power of 10. So I think, are you just doubling? No, you're not just doubling the length, though. Or are you? Is it just going to take twice the amount of time, because it's half the probability? Probability isn't linear, though. That's confusing. Oh shit! Oh shit. They turned the voltage up again. They get me off guard every time. Every time I think I'm out, they drag me back in. What have you posted? Balatro main theme? I can't even think what would be fucked up about this one, but sure. No, actually, I have a good idea. Is it just gonna go like Giga Distortion? I think it's pretty quiet, so I'll turn it up louder. Definitely not what I had in mind. I hope this doesn't get muted. I think that might actually get muted. I'm not entirely sure. But it is, if it wasn't a one-to-one pull of the lyrics where I just pulled sections, I'd be more confident. But it is, oops, no worries. I don't know, but it is. Oh shit, we got one, boys. Looks like meat's back on the menu. He's bad. Just skip forward a little bit. Yeah, okay, so it is just the main vocal track over the Balatro theme. That's kind of what I thought after I heard the first part. I don't know, it doesn't... Mods, take him out back. He didn't even get the chance to run away. We didn't even take him out back, we shot him in the living room. Makes a mess of the carpet, honestly, but... You know what I had the other day? You know what? Oh, it's too late now, I already banned him. I had the other day... Mods, put him in the penis explosion chamber. That is... I know exactly what you're referencing, and I hate that fact because it is so funny to me. Take him to the penis explosion chamber. I stole that from Datto. It's originally from a 2-sentence horror story where it's like, I thought everything was fine at the hospital until I heard the doctor say, take him to the penis explosion chamber. And it's so funny. I think it's from that, at least. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember it being from. I might be misremembering. Mods. Cut off his toes. No, but I had one it was last night, actually. It was like at the end of stream, I got a Viewbot guy. And the sadness in me when I realized, clicking on the profile, that it's not a bot. It's it's like a real guy with his Twitch account that was doing it. He had fucking like viewer badges. He had the Raging Wolf helm from Elden Ring. It's like, man, what have you done with your life to get to this point? Shit's gotta be real bad. Garnered some sympathy. That said, immediately banned him. I took him to the penis explosion chamber, yeah. Sympathy does not mean mercy. You committed the crime. Holy shit, that was 11 tails in a row. You committed the crime, now get ready to have your penis exploded. That's just how it works. Do you think women are immune to the penis explosion chamber? It is called the penis explosion chamber, but how does it detect the penis? Nope. I don't know, but I'm not about to find out. Smart decision, honestly. So is... I mean... Do you think... I need to be careful. Do you think... if it does grant immunity, being trans is a buff? And like having gender-affirming surgery is just so you can dodge the draft to the penis explosion chamber? It's the only way. I'm just thinking of like the Hunger Games where you get selected randomly. Oh, District 16. Oh, don't worry, man. If you go to the penis explosion chamber, I'll volunteer for you. Sorry, man. It's the only way. You have to cut off your dick. I think even if you don't get surgery, if you're a woman with a penis, you're immune to the penis explosion chamber. I think that's wrong. I think it doesn't... It's not the man penis explosion chamber. A penis is a penis, no matter who has it. Like, if you put a dog in there... If you put a hyena in the penis explosion chamber, what happens? Does the machine explode? I think it doesn't... The penis explosion chamber doesn't discriminate. That's a fair point. I mean... It depends, I think. Is there a scientist that... I don't know why in my head it's a scientist. Is there a scientist who operates the penis explosion chamber? Or is it an automated system? Do you go in, get a body scan, and then it explodes? I need to know the kinematics of a penis explosion chamber to know whether or not a trans person is safe. The penis explosion chamber only cares about what's in your pants. That sounds like the slogan they put on the box. Like, guy with an executioner's hood. Yeah, he just came from the circumcision chamber, that's where he got it from. They're right next door to each other. He works 2 jobs. It's tough in this economy. Yeah, that does seem like the slogan, though. Penis explosion chamber. We only care what's in your pants. It seems like it's oddly plausible. All I can imagine is the, Cyberpunk 2077. The 2056 elections in the US. One of the candidates announces the penis explosion chamber for the death sentence, and then everyone like cheers. Now that's the thing. In that situation, what party announces it? Because I don't know. I really couldn't answer that. Does it seem more like cruel and unusual punishment? Yes. So I'm leaning right. But then at the same time, it's like, be a really fucking good way to get back at the right. So, is that why they developed? I don't know. It's impossible to answer, I think. All we know is that it will happen one day, we just don't know who's gonna make it first. Either that, or it's like some crazed scientist in Brazil. I don't know why Brazil seems more likely than any others, but it's either that or Poland, and don't ask me why, because I couldn't tell you. You think a rat would be good at this game? Whenever it hears the ding, you give it like a tiny piece of cheese. Or whenever it presses the button. I guess you don't even need the cheese. Rats are proven to just like playing around. The rat would have better luck. This is insulting, but probably true. Because isn't it proven that rats are like really happy if they have a tiny little car to drive around or something? A rat with a driver's license is on average more happy. I should get a driver's license. Maybe I'm like the rat. Also BRB, see you in a bit. The R is not guaranteed. Brother, it's all good. I do not mind. This is not a mandatory attendance stream. I would let you know if it was. Rats do like driving for fun. They're such chill little guys. I love rats. I would love to keep rats as pets. The only problem is that would be expensive for me right now. And also my place doesn't allow pets. I would, however, love to... I don't know who I'd have to pay to make it happen, but I need someone to develop a chewable... It probably already happened, actually. A chewable rat snack. There's kind of like, I don't know, how many teeth do rats have? Probably not many, they're not like dogs and stuff, or cats where they need to tear flesh out of a prey. What I was thinking is, because, you know, they have those treats for dogs where it's like really chewy and it's supposed to exercise, or like supposed to help their teeth and stuff. I want something like that for rats, but it just looks like a little cigarette. But I don't know if rats need that. It could just be like a snack, but then it probably stuffs it down its throat. Its true rodent behavior is greed. Greed and gluttony. I've had hamsters before. This is the perfect game for people who love edging. I don't think I need to elaborate. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, I would... Man, there are so many animals that I've wanted as pets over the course of my life. I've had dogs, I've had cats. I've had hamsters. Never had a lizard. I do like lizards, though. I wouldn't want birds. I feel bad for them. Even if they get to fly around the house, it's just... And I know that it's not like... they would be better off being free, because a lot of them are trained since birth to be pets, or like, you know, kept in enclosures and stuff, and they would probably just die if you let them out. But I still feel bad for them, and yeah, I don't know, it's a lot of work as well. I want a rat, but I could never own one because they only live 3 years. I mean, it's sad, yeah, but I think I'm fine with it. I don't know, it's just one of those things where, like, holy shit, okay, we're 2 50/50s off. BRB killing myself. That would have been way ahead of schedule. Yeah, I think I don't know. The knowledge that you've made the animal's life that much better, if it's had a happy life, is enough. It doesn't need to live forever. I mean, it's not gonna live forever. It would fucking suck if it did, honestly. I would love a parrot, but I don't have the money. I don't know if I already read that. I could have so much fun teaching a parrot about things. Also love a snake, but I could never have one because I could not feed it. I mean, you could have like a tiny snake. There are little guys, but generally the tinier the snake, the more dangerous they are. Not always, but a lot of the times the little ones are little shits. It's the same with dogs. I do love an angry little shoelace. Exactly. Like, I would love... I don't know, for me, when it comes to animals, I think I like cats the most, because it is just having a dude in your house. Like, he's just there. You don't know where he is most of the time. He's just doing his own thing, and especially if you have, like, street cats, if you live in an area far enough away from main roads, on like busy roads that you can let them out. And you know, like safer areas without wild animals that are gonna hunt them down. Sometimes, you know, the little guy is just gone, and then he comes back. He just lives his own life, but I think that's what's sick about cats. I would love to have rats. I don't think I'd want snakes. Snakes a bit too... I don't know, I basically want guys that can roam free. Because I don't like keeping stuff in cages, but also I would have to keep the rats in a cage, because if not, there is a high risk that I get up at night and step on one by accident. And my eyes don't work. I also love Bearded Dragon. Fucking goofy ass. No depth perception, just run full force into walls. It's me. I'm not a dragon, I'm just a bearded. I do have depth. Well, I mean, it's the buff that my glasses give me, I guess. I gain depth perception. They're an equipable item. No, they're also like a necessary item. Without them, I fail to operate on pretty much every level of maneuverability. And the most fucked up part is, like, when you misplace your glasses, it's genuinely the worst feeling. I have a place that I usually leave them. If I don't leave them there, it's over for me. I'll be looking for them, but obviously I can't fucking see them because I don't have glasses on. It's literally just so you have chosen death. That said, would much rather need glasses than have other eye problems. I do not like having people examine my eyes. That said, I did have a... I wouldn't even call it a scare, but just like a medical examination a while back. I don't know, like a month ago. And on one of the pictures they were like, yo, your nerves are fucked up in your eye. And then they were like, upon further examination, this is after we drove to a different city and went to like a more in-depth place. They were like, upon further examination, you're fine. I realized the other day I can see my heartbeat if I push myself too hard in a pot's flare. That's pretty sick, honestly. Perceiving things that you can't usually perceive in a way that you can't. I mean, I don't know about you, I generally can't perceive my heartbeat at all. But being able to see, like, yeah, I can see my heartbeat. But providing no further context is just, it's a thing that you can do, and it not be a lie. You could lie about it, sure, but it's way funnier if you're not. I'm very aware of my heartbeat and all of the time, just not visually. Yeah, I don't think many people are aware of their heartbeat visually. At all. You have a heartbeat monitor, I guess. It's pretty aware visually. It's like one of the only situations, though. I don't know, I would need a heartbeat monitor, because I don't even know what my average heart rate is. I'm also ass at measuring it. I just realized that when I couldn't measure it. I think my neck works better. My neck works better than my hands. We had to measure this a while back for like. So I've done several first aid courses. Some of them mandatory, most of them mandatory actually. And one of them, for some reason, was like, "All right, now calculate your pulse." I'm like, "Okay," or your BPM. And I did it, and it was like fairly normal. I don't know why, but then they were like, okay, now someone lie down and calculate someone else's pulse. And the whole idea was that even if you're searching for a pulse, you might be finding just muscle spasms if they're passed out and stuff. And then you need to actually count the BPM and see if it's irregular or normal. Because if you just put your hand up to the neck of someone who's having a seizure, you're not really going to get a BPM, though someone having a seizure is generally still alive. But yeah, it was all that, like, emergency first aid stuff, which, considering it was like for an office environment, it didn't really make much sense. Like why we were doing it, I mean, other than just, hey, here's a tool that you have. Have I ever had to do CPR? No. Do I know how to do it if I need to? Yeah. Does it? The only thing it's given me actually is like, I now get mildly annoyed when I see CPR scenes in movies and TV, because they never cover the nose. Which is just like, you're blowing air into his mouth, and guess what? That shit's just left. It's just gone right out his nose. Plus, artificial respiration doesn't really do much. The whole point of CPR is to keep the heart functioning for long enough for emergency services to arrive. You're really generally not going to revive someone. You're just keeping their body functioning until someone with the proper equipment can actually help them. Don't expect to do CPR and for someone to go, "Oh my god, you saved me!" You're generally just gonna, like, keep him alive. What they pisses me off is they can't show a woman having a heart attack in medical dramas, because in order to defib her, they'd have to remove her bra. So women don't really know the symptoms of a heart attack for them. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the symptoms of a heart attack for men other than just deep, sharp pain, Yes, the prawns. Deep, sharp pain, shortness of breath. I feel like it's one of those things where I probably would fuck it up by not knowing. Shooting pain in the left arm. I still remember, I think I've talked about it before, that when I had appendicitis and I was like day 2, like late into day 2 of it, and my appendix was pretty swollen. I went to the medical center and just said, yeah man, my stomach really hurts. And they were like, anything else? And just like, nope, that's about it. And then, you know, after I got operated on and all that, and it was like, oh yeah, your appendix was kind of like about to explode, it's a good thing we got to it when we did. I went back to her to get stitches removed because I passed out in the street and had to get my eyebrow stitched, whole different story. She was like, yeah man, no one describes that as like pain in their stomach. People are usually in fucking agony. I'm like, well yeah I was, but I don't generally describe things as agony. It's not. I don't know, I've never been to, well, I mean this only happened one time, but I've never been to the doctor and been like, yeah, I'm in absolute agony. But I suppose sometimes it does help to understand the gravity. I don't know, I've never been a huge fan of going to the doctor. Very few times have I been sick enough that I've had to. I did have, I think it's only twice in my life that I've had to go to the doctor / hospital. Like, necessarily. I've been way more than that, obviously. But most of the time it's just like, yep, that's a fever. Yep, that's a cold. Yep, you're fine. And the fact that most of the time you can feel it, but then again I'm not good at feeling it, because I remember like a while ago when I think it was to you, Joe, that I was like, oh yeah, I'll do some stuff. I think it was when we were doing Monster Hunter on PC. I was like, yeah, I just feel really lightheaded and confused and disoriented. And then I realized slowly, like, yeah, I'm probably sick, huh? It's just not something that crosses my mind. I'm just like, oh, I guess I'm feeling like this today. Which is not normal. No one... like, you should have a baseline for how you feel. Even if that baseline isn't ideal, you have a baseline. And I just don't know what mine is, I guess. My brain doesn't... it's apparently not important enough information for me to keep track of. Because I don't recognize when I feel different than usual. It's strange. Is this game frying my laptop? I don't know why it's running so hot. This game is, unless it's Bitcoin mining in the background every time I flip the coin, it should be pretty low in terms of system requirements and whatnot, but maybe it's also the fact that I'm running 8 things. That definitely doesn't help. Processor's trying its little heart out. It'll manage. It's only a 50-50 that it has to calculate once a second while keeping track of the time while running YouTube, while running Streamlabs, while broadcasting. That doesn't sound like too many things. I can do that many things. I just ask the computer to do it for me and then I press play. Oh, I forgot to DM you this. Sorry, I've also just realized, why am I doing this in a bar? Why does this bar have a big bag of coffee beans and soda? Someone mentioned a good idea on the Final Fantasy XIV subreddit. Subreddits having good ideas? Crazy. You literally never see it. Don't overlevel, because if you do, you're going to be shit out of luck when it comes to getting new shit for your class. How do you mean? Don't over... How do you overlevel? Because from like level 30 to level 63, you don't get new skills. That's insane. I'm going to be honest, I haven't booted it up since the last time we played. Admittedly, I think the last time we played was when? Was it the weekend? I think it was the weekend. I think it was Saturday. yeah, I guess it makes sense that I haven't done any. You like tiny ones, but a lot of the other ones are pruned. Fair enough. Yes, I'll wait for my strategic advisor to advise me on what to do there. Because I haven't done any, like, main quest or side quest stuff. I've just kind of not... I did the dungeon. That's the last thing we did. And at that point I was so tired that that's it. Still remember that pumpkin guy that you sent me the picture of, though. John Halloween. Speaking of pumpkins, I need to buy a pumpkin. One of those things that, like, I have to take advantage of around this time of year. Pumpkin's delicious, but, like, damn. You literally never see it in shops other than October. I don't know if that's because it's incredibly seasonal, or if it's because... I don't know. It's just not popular enough to sell otherwise. I think it's probably just incredibly seasonal. But I think that's a good thing if we're growing fruits and vegetables in the seasons that they need to be grown. One of the things that still pisses me off the most is the US almond farms. Using, like, trillions of liters of water just to have fucking almonds. The worst nut, by the way. No one's favorite nut is almonds. And if your favorite nut is almonds, you need to try more types of nut. That's just the facts. I don't make the rules. I'm just the messenger. Almond is a inferior nut. Is it good on things? Yeah, sure. Is almond butter good? Yeah, of course it is. Is almond a good nut? No, different questions. I need to come up with some good ideas as well for... Oh shit, I just had a... My brain just hit me with, like, the lightning strike reminder of I have a bunch of work stuff to do. I don't know why that came to me right then. Because I was gonna say, like, I need to come up with some ideas for some streams. And I've got one for this weekend that I think is gonna be pretty funny. And other than that, I'm just, like, an SLR I'm kind of holding off on. I might do one soon, though. The problem is they run so late, and I have to find a weekend where I can do it now because I'm working. So 24, well, I mean, yeah, it generally averages to like 20 hours. And I need the recovery day afterwards. So yeah, I've got that. Achievement Bingo was another one, or like, was it Achievement Bingo? I don't remember exactly which one I did. Steam Bingo, something like that. The problem with that is, like, the formatting is so weird for it. I have a way that I could do it, actually. That would be a lot of work. That would be a lot of work. We'll see. So my problem is that a bingo board concept doesn't work if going into it I know the squares. Because then there's no on-the-fly adaptation. There's no stakes, and there's no versus aspect, which is what I like a lot. But to get that, the problem is I have to make 2 bingo boards, which is doable. Here's the working idea. The working idea is I get a 5x5 grid. I make a list of... How many squares are on a bingo board? 25? It's 25, right? It's 5 by 5. I don't know, that's simple math, I don't know why I struggled with that. I need a list of 100 things for me to do, and then 100 things that chat would choose, and it would be whoever got bingo first, and then you could re-roll because the squares would be in different positions and stuff. But it would be tough, because how do I... The competition wouldn't be equal. So it would have to be like... I don't know, there's workshopping to do there. But I would also need to make a system, which is really easy. You just get a... You make something that takes a list of 25 things, takes a list of 100 things and pulls a random 25 of them. That part's easy. Also, whenever you Final Fantasy XIV next, I have a Dungo I need to clear for a quest, but I don't want to do it with a rando tank, so yeah. Fair enough. I will probably have to unlock it, but... Now that I've got to the meat and potatoes, I don't imagine they're going to start hitting me with fucking cardboard again. Okay. I've not gotten to 9 yet. It's been an hour and 30 and I haven't gotten to 9. You can put like 200 things into a bingo board generator and there's no guarantee the cards will be the same. Jaxorms does that for React Bingo. But my point is, the challenges need to be different. So if I'm... Here's the problem that I have. There are 2 ways, or 3 ways that I can think of going about it. First is a bingo board of things that I need to complete to get bingo. But then the point is, there is no... You know, chat isn't doing anything on their side. They're just watching me do a bingo board. Which, you know, maybe people are interested in. But that's not the idea that I want to go for. The idea that I want to go for is like a versus scenario in some way. So then I was like, what about a bingo board that chat has to complete by having me not say, do, or, you know, say or do certain things, but then I'm like, that's very reliant on A, having a bingo board big enough, me not knowing what they are, and 3, having, which is, you know, why SLR I think is better in concept. SLR doesn't need any viewer interaction because I have proposed the challenge myself, and I have punishments that I have to do if I want to skip games, or like, you know, for certain things, and also after each game. The thing with bingo is it requires a viewer to care, which is something that I obviously, you know, you can never guarantee, especially when the chat size on average is like 2 or 3 people. Grows for SLR primarily because it's just a tour of a bunch of random games that doesn't have much viewership, so when people see people go live in that category, they're like, oh shit, I'll go check what it is. But that's neither here nor there. So then my idea was 2 bingo boards, but it encounters the same problem of it requires a chat that cares, and also, you know, there to do the bingo part of it, because it can't be things that I see. Because if I can see the bingo board, I can play around it and, like, counter it and stuff. So I think the idea works best in scenario 1, where I have the bingo board, but then it's just me doing one. React Bingo is good because you can never, like, you set up the bingo because someone else is the one doing the things. You know, the video, it's all dependent on whether the videos include that thing or not. So it works really well for that. So I think maybe the bingo format is just flawed for what I'm trying to do. Which begs the question of what format do I need? I already have one, but I'm looking for more. And I have a game show format. I actually have a game show made. Like a trivia game show in the style of Jeopardy. That is just Jeopardy. That I wanted to do with some friends at some point. But I've forgotten the answers to literally every question. And also, we've never had time to do it. Could remake the board. And also, I don't know if there's interest even among my friend group. I could remake the board for other people, but that would require commitment from people to do it as well. It's tough. I enjoy big events and stuff, and creating and setting them up and going through with them. Like, the Destiny. What do I call it? Like Destiny 2 Roulette. I called it Goose's Gamble in the end. That's what it was. It went through like 50 different names when I was making it. I really enjoy doing stuff like that, but the problem is getting people interested and organizing people. Primarily the latter. You know, that actually, fun fact, 2 years ago at this point, slightly more maybe, almost didn't go through because there wasn't enough people. 2 50/50s? Still not gotten to 9 yet. We'll get there. But yeah, I suppose I could just look up a bunch of formats, but I don't know. I don't quite know what I'm looking for when I say that. I guess that's... I'm not a huge AI guy. Like, I'm not super massive fan of it in most contexts. That is one of the few situations where I can think of it being useful, though. It's for stuff like that. It's like, give me ideas around this. Or, like, give me a starting point, basically. People that use AI for the whole process, you're just doing it wrong. I think it's there to give you a starting point or to guide you in the right direction. Which in its own right is useful. Can't deny that. But at the same time, it still feels inorganic, you know? I like my ideas to be homegrown, straight off the vine, which is why they're so bad most of the time. But if you miss 100 times and hit once, you don't need to publish the other 99. You just make a video of one. It's a long and arduous process, though, to if you want to do that every time. But generally, you know, if you miss 100 times and then get one, or miss 99 and then get one, you'd hope that the next time you go through that process, you've gotten better, so it's 1 in 75, maybe 1 in 50. Until you're so good that your ideas are 1 in 1 and you're producing bangers every stream. But I ain't there yet. I'm not even at the 1 in 200, I don't think. There's a large quantity of slop, I guess. No other word for it. But I prop myself up on my failures, which I've yet to have. It's not a failure if you don't publish it. Theoretically, we are almost halfway through. If probability holds up. Which is worrying because... Oh, maybe we just end it right now. Fuck, I really wanted to put dinner on. I could do that. It would only take like 15 minutes. Bingo night. Hey, Dream. Yeah, we're just talking like formats. Or I was just talking formats for stream events, and I'm just kind of, you know, kind of stuck on it. I'm gonna try and workshop some stuff though. I've got one for this weekend. It's not a big event or anything, and then I'm probably gonna do an SLR at some point in coming weeks. I might, you know what? Could be tasty to do that this weekend. Could I get away with that? Do love me some bingo nights. A few times I've caught them, he's usually wrapping up. But they are fun. What, the Jax Films React Bingo? This is my 5,000th flip. Yeah, we're halfway done. That tracks. We said that it would take 10,024 flips. You know what? React bingo might be the way to go about it. But you just have to choose what you're reacting to. I wouldn't want to do like TikTok reacts. I would want to do like... Could you do... No, because that's too long. What is like the goofiest thing you can react to that is public domain? My first thought was old movies. But you don't want to sit through an hour and a half of a movie. Or like an hour of an old movie just to get like one bingo square. That doesn't seem... That would, first of all, be really, really long. And second of all, doesn't seem like that much fun. I don't know. It's a good idea to pose, though. Put that on the list of things that I'm never going to do. The human spirit really is unbreakable, though. I don't think it's that, actually. I think it's the gambling mindset. That's what it is. Because I know that, statistically, I'm halfway done. And that should give me some happiness in knowing that I'm halfway done. And that, like, you know, on average, 50% of the way done. Every single time I see that number go up, I'm like, no, but this is the one, though. I'm different. I am an outlier. Tends to not be the case. They're outliers for a reason. If everyone's an outlier, they're not outliers. And knowing that my luck is what it is, I shouldn't be preparing myself for disappointment. But every time I hear that little guitar string pluck, I think that it's the one. Only after 5, though. I'm now at the point... Well, I mean, I was like an hour ago as well, though, when I last mentioned it. When it gets to 5, I'm like, oh shit, there's a chance here. You should always gamble more. You should always... I need to implement gambling into my stream. I was gonna say you should always gamble by paying me, but I don't know how you would do that because there's no gambling features. When you gift a sub, there's a 50% chance that I ban the person you gift it to. That doesn't seem like a good idea, though. You think I could do a PvP chatting system? Where you can just time someone out through channel points rewards? Seems counterintuitive, if I'm honest, again. But it also seems funny. Can I even do that? Can I give mod permissions to... I guess Nightbot is a mod. I can just make a command in Nightbot where it types a certain message. Yeah, no, that'd be pretty easy to do, I think, actually. Whoa! I was so ready to pog up. That's what I mean, it's like... It's not even Gambler's Fallacy, because Gambler's Fallacy is just like, well, I'm due now. This is more like... It should happen every time. Like, why is every single one of these not heads? I mean, it's a 50% chance for all of them to be heads. Just only after the previous coin flip is completed. The next one's always 50. Really, the message I'm waiting for is quite a way off. The message I'm waiting for is the "this is your 10,000th flip." Because then, if we do more than 24 flips, then it's statistically, I am less likely than the average man. Then Joe Benchmark, I am less lucky than him. And then Layman. You know what's even weirder though? I bet there's never been a single human who flipped a coin exactly 10,024 times and got heads 10 times in a row on that last set of 10. Which is the perfect average. Mr. Layman himself, exactly. But it's the same as, like, we calculated the average human of, like, height, eye color, hair color, and he doesn't exist. Because no one is just that perfectly average. It's probably the same, but also the sample size of people who flipped a coin more than 10,024 times with the intention of getting heads 10 times in a row, you could probably count that number of people on one hand. So, my sample size doesn't look good. Mr. Layman may exist, but he hasn't tried yet. We just need to get... we just need to gift this game to 10,000 people. Eventually, one of them will play the game, and then we can do the experiment. Because maybe he is Layman. Also, I hate that every time I'm saying it, it gets more French. It just sounds like lemon. And then I'm saying lemon. It does make you wonder how many people have actually committed to beating this game without max upgrades. The number can't be that many. First of all, I'd love to see the total players this game has had. I wish every game published a spreadsheet. I just need all of the stats so I can look at them. Specifically games like this, though, where it has a set time. What I want to know, actually, is the time between them playing the game for the first time and then getting 10 heads. No other stat matters, that's the only one. Even if they bought max upgrades. Because surely in there are some people who are supremely unlucky and got to, like, I don't know, I don't know if the max is like 95 or something. It's probably actually 80%, because you start at 20%, so if it went the other way, it would make sense, kind of. But what is the number of people that have... Like, what's the time, on average, between buying it and refunding it? That's true. I reckon if you go all out for the heads chance, do you think... And, like, if you're an average guy, and you buy this game because you saw Northernlion play it, or because you saw Dan Giesling play it, or because you saw Germa play it, or because you're very easily influenced and you saw it on the Steam page and you think, I love gambling. Do you think... Because the average person is going for the upgrades. They're not playing some sort of sick, twisted game with themselves like I am. Do you think they beat it fast enough to refund? And if they do you think they refund it? I think the likelihood of you ever playing this game again after beating it for the average person is very low. Definitely didn't buy it because of NL, nope. No, I just love coin flippers. I did this... Oh, I mean, I only know about the game because of NL. That is truth. So there is some truth to the statement that I bought it because of NL, because that's why I know about it. I think I beat it at 55% chance and I can still refund it. So you beat it at 55% chance in under 2 hours. That's honestly impressive. I am 10 minutes off of no longer being able to do that. And I'm only 5... Actually, I think I'm already past the mark, but I've only started playing when the timer started, so that's a more accurate representation. I can say that I don't think I'm close, because the average states that I'm not close. But it could happen any second now. But yeah, no, I bought this because I played Clover Pits, and I lost, I think, both on-stream and off-stream. On the first round, where you don't have, like, any... any stuff, I lost maybe 4 times. And on average, you should be beating it. But if you get unlucky on both the shop and the rerolls of the shop, you get literally nothing and you just have to win it at the slot machine, which is even less likely than a coin flip. Playtime, 38 minutes. That's crazy. You beat it in 38 minutes. I think... So I got to 50% at the 29-minute mark. Or it might have been the 19, I think 19 minutes. I could have gone to 55, probably at the... maybe like 30-minute mark, maybe slightly lower. And I don't know what the price of 60% is, so... I can believe a 38 minute in terms of like upgrade speed, if you've had the similar RNG to me. Maybe I'm him. Maybe I am layman. Maybe I'm gonna get to 10,000 flips and it's gonna say, this is your 10,000... Actually, no. It would be inaccurate to beat it on 10,024 because every flip before 50% doesn't count to that average. So realistically, I need to beat it. So the odds are worse, which means they count for less. But let's say from 20% up to 50% accounts for 20 minutes worth of flips at 2 seconds of flip. It's like 2... Nah. It was before 1,000 flips, so it's probably like 300 flips. So if I get to... But they still count towards the probability, even though they count less. So technically I don't need... But they count less, which means I need more. So I actually probably need... Instead of 1,024, I'd say 1,150 just spitball in there. Which probably takes the average finishing time up from 3 hours 20 minutes on the dot to like 3:30, let's say. So if I beat this before 3 hours and 30 minutes, I would say I am above average in terms of coin flips. And it could happen right now. No, it couldn't. Now, the problem with 3 hours and 30 minutes is I need to make dinner. But the question is, what do I prioritize? Human nutrition and eating at a regular time? Or proving a point? And when I say this, you need to keep in mind, I'm very petty. I will do a lot of things to prove a point. I think I can go until 9:30 without eating. I mean, the game saves you progress, right? This could... I planned on beating it today. But this could be a multi-stream game. You know? I'm seeing the line. Not of the coins hitting, I'm seeing the line of playing this again. I think, yeah, no, I go until the average today, and then anything after that is overtime. Any additional playtime I get is the big leagues. That's the percentage of how much worse my RNG is than the average human. Or we just beat it in the next hour. At which point I am only slightly, but still under the average. Now, you could say that it's unfair to say that, because my sample size is literally just one game where I flip a coin. But no, that's incorrect. I've actually lived with myself for a pretty long time, believe it or not. And this is a common occurrence. My Baldur's Gate 3 runs are all bad. My Divinity Original Sin 2 runs end badly, because I roll the lowest number every time. If there is a damage range, you might as well just cap it at the bottom. Make it a flat value. Because on average, I'm hitting low. That said, I have already rolled 10 tails in a row on 50% odds. So does that make me supremely unlucky, or supremely lucky? Because technically I've accomplished the challenge. The head side was just facing the wrong way. If it were a glass table, would it count? Or would I still have to... Because technically the coin has landed the same side up 10 times. Why is the head side more valuable than the tails? Do we not respect our Catgirl fandom? Are the furries being prosecuted again? We can't stand for this. They make up like 80% of programmers. The software development world, look, Stack Overflow would not be where it is today without the tails, so I think we need to put some respect on the tails. Where's my flip 10 tails in a row game? Technically you have, what, beaten it? By flipping 10 tails? I mean, the odds are the same. I just need it to be the other way up. And I think the first time I did that was an hour in. So, well, you know, the first time after getting 50% odds. Now, I was on a streak of hitting it on cooldown, though. But that's the thing. At any time, it can just hit. Ooh. Maybe. No, that's coping. I was about to say the biggest cope that you've ever heard in your life. I was about to say maybe because I flipped 10 tails at the hour mark. At the 2-hour mark, it's 10 heads. Doesn't even make any sense in any universe. Things are so... I mean, the fact that the previous flip is disconnected from the next one is already hard enough to comprehend in terms of probabilities. When you start bringing stuff in from an hour ago, that's when you know you're cooked. Because it bears no... It bears no resemblance, there's no bearing on the current predicament. It's just an event that happened. You're attributing too many human factors to a coin. Like, sure. Is the existence of Twilight directly traceable back to 9/11? Yes. But that doesn't mean that the events of the coin 1 hour from now are directly traceable to the events of the coin an hour ago. There's no butterfly effect from flipping 10 tails. Unless you count the butterfly effect of my mild excitement when I failed that hard. But that hasn't... I mean, I guess it does have an effect. It's why every test is flawed, there's external factors. Technically, I could fail to infinity, and I could never beat this challenge. The only thing that keeps the statistics pure is human will, the fact that I'm willing to be here. The second I give up, that's when the stats are no longer viable. Because if I don't beat it, there's no way of knowing exactly what my final time would have been. If it takes 10 hours, you know? That would be supremely unlucky. But it also wouldn't. Because it's, you know... Every coin flip's a 50-50. Well, bye-bye. That is time, though. That is time. I can't even see the achievement, but oh, because I clicked off. 2 hours, 6,208 flips. Which is technically about... You know what? I don't call on you often, ChatGPT. How long, if each flip takes 1 second, on average, would it take someone to flip a coin and have it land heads 10 times in a row? Headphones aren't working. Can you reply me in chat? I really appreciate it. No idea to respond to that. Oh, don't fucking give me the explanation. Yes, I know how to calculate it. I just want your... I've really fucked up my maths previously then. It's not just a matter of flipping 10 heads, they must be consecutive. The expected number of flips to get n consecutive heads is a known problem in probability theory. The formula doesn't have a simple closed form expression, but the expected value of n are well studied. This has been calculated as 2,046 flips. So on average, it would take about 2,046 flips to get 10 in a row. Which would take about 34 minutes, which lines up with your playtime of 38. Huh, so I'm off by 2x. This is the weirdest... Sure, you know what? Sure. Let's run this bit. If each flip takes 1 second. So I'm 3 times unluckier than average. I want to see where this goes. I'm in the same boat as you. Account created 2 days ago. If it is a following since 1 minute ago, I didn't even get the notification. If it's like an artist thing, nice, where are you from? What does this have to do with headphones? I mistyped it, but that's funnier. I'm just... yeah, so Dream, what we've figured out is that you are Mr. Layman, you are layman. On average, it takes 34 minutes. Actually, you're better than layman. You're layman plus. Because it takes, on average, 34 minutes of flipping it 2,000 times, but you start at a lower chance in this game. So by the time you got to 50%, you had already done... a lot of flips. So technically, yeah, you're better than layman. You are luckier than average. Me, on the other hand, if we subtract 20 minutes for the time it took me to get to 50%, 3 times unluckier than your average person. Damn, how was I off by that much? I thought it would take way longer. Well, now the question is, how many times can I run back? I'm not going to do this today. I need to go eat dinner. Could I get a better time flipping at 45% than 2 hours? I suppose that's something to find out another time. That is Unfair Flips. That was a lot of fun. It was basically just me talking about random bullshit the whole time, but that's basically what this always is anyway, so really, where's the difference? 2.2 hours playtime. Okay, no, I thought there were 10 endings, there is not. Land the coin on its side, 20% chance is one of the endings. And then there's more endings with 20% chance, one with 30, and then one with 10. Okay. Where are you from? I'm gonna end stream. This is... You ever, like, you know that there's a technique when someone is, like, really sad or distraught or having a panic attack or something, you can confuse them so hard that they, like, snap out of it and snap back to reality? It feels like that's what someone's doing to me right now. It feels like I'm being discombobulated, like, live and on purpose. Julio, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. It feels like in the last... no, you know what? I can't even explain it. I can't even explain it. It feels like... There's no... Nice to meet you. This is either the strangest bot of all time, and following just because of the sheer confusion. I tuned in 5 minutes ago, and all I know is you have to eat dinner. The recap, I will give you a brief recap, because there is no... who are these people? What are you all doing here? Arya James has been banned. Good call, honestly. Good call. Yeah. I wanted to test my probability by getting Unfair Flips going up to 50% average to see how unlucky I am compared to the average person. It took me 3 times longer than it should have. So I know that at 50% odds, I am 3 times unluckier than the average person. That's it. This is literally just... This stream was for me. I want a statistic so that I can point at it and say, this is how unlucky I am. This is to prove a point. That sounds sad. No, you don't understand. I now have the power of statistics on my side. If I now have the God-given right to complain about being unlucky. Before, there was no provable... It's not provable. I can know my experience with RNG in the past, but I have nothing to point to when someone doubts me. Now I have evidence. There is nothing greater than this outcome. And now, I can completely turn all of this on its head by playing the game again at 45% chance, and proving that... Well, I mean, it could go either way. If I get super lucky, and I beat it quicker, then the test is fucked. None of the statistics matter. Just throw it in the trash. But if I beat it even slower, then it's good? I don't know. I'm kind of confused on the point of that one. Anyway, I don't really know what it would prove. This has proven a lot of things. This has shown me that I was right. Anyway, I'm gonna go, like, eat food because it's late. I know it's been a short one. It's been, like, pretty average. It's Vindication. It's exactly Vindication. It is... It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. Don't get it twisted, they were banned from being from the UK. That's a confusing situation. Do I have to ban myself? I mean, I'm technically not. Technically am. I'm not gonna get into that. Anyway, I'm gonna go... That's it. Thanks for dropping by. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow. Doing I don't know what. I really don't know what. Maybe. Sorry, I'm still discombobulated by the fucking bot that came in, said her headphones don't work and need help, and then proceeded to ask me where I'm from twice. I'm gonna be thinking about that all day. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll see you around. Bye bye.